Stop trying to be seen. The loud man is always watched. The quiet man is always measured. Power does not announce itself. It arrives, already decided. If you are competing, you are already late. If you are impressing, you are already beneath. If you are explaining, you have already lost the frame. This is the psychology of quiet superiority, the art Machiavelli understood before words were cheap and attention was weak. The strongest player never enters the contest. He designs the board. While others chase approval, he collects leverage. While they argue, he observes. While they justify, he moves. I am not here to make you liked. I am here to make you untouchable, to strip you of the need to prove, to kill the addiction to applause. Because the moment you stop competing, people start competing for you. If this truth hits you, comment, "I move in silence." Let it mark the shift. Understand this now. Noise is for the insecure. Explanations are for the guilty. Impressing is for the desperate. The man with power speaks less, moves slower, and lands harder. This channel is Machiavellian mode. Here, we don't beg for attention. We let attention chase us. Number 1. The lie of competition. Competition is a trap designed for men who crave validation. The moment you measure yourself against others, you surrender control of your mind. You start reacting instead of directing. You hurry instead of positioning. Machiavelli understood this clearly. Power grows when you stop running the same race as everyone else. The superior man does not outperform rivals publicly. He outgrows them privately. He studies patterns, not people. He builds assets, not arguments. While others exhaust themselves trying to win today, he prepares to own tomorrow. Competition keeps you visible but weak, busy but replaceable. Quiet superiority keeps you rare. When you stop competing, you reclaim time, energy, and psychological dominance. You no longer rush to respond, prove, or correct. You let outcomes speak. This silence unsettles people because it removes comparison. They cannot measure you, so they fear you. If you feel this shift happening, comment, "I withdraw to advance," and let it anchor in your mind. Power never fights head-on unless it must. It waits, watches, and strikes only when victory is guaranteed. This is how you stop chasing status and start becoming it. Silence is the weapon they never see coming, and it always decides outcomes permanently. Number 2, never impress, never perform. The need to impress is a silent confession of weakness, because every performance places you beneath the audience you are trying to win. The moment you seek admiration, you hand others the authority to judge your worth. Machiavelli would tell you this plainly. The powerful do not entertain, they define. Impressing is exhausting because it never ends. Today's applause becomes tomorrow's expectation, and soon you are trapped maintaining an image instead of building leverage. The man who performs becomes predictable, and predictability is a liability. Quiet superiority rejects spectacle. It understands that mystery creates gravity. When people cannot read you, they project power onto you. When you do less, they assume you know more. This is not arrogance, it is strategy. You speak only when it shifts the balance. You act only when it compounds your position. Everyone else is busy signaling value. You are busy becoming it. Notice how the most influential figures rarely explain themselves or exaggerate their strengths. Their restraint forces others to fill the silence with assumptions in their favor. If this resonates, comment, "I don't perform, I position," and let that identity settle. Impressing keeps you chasing reactions, but positioning makes reactions inevitable. The Stoic understands that respect is not requested. It is extracted through consistency and control. You do not rush to show competence. You let results leak slowly, just enough to establish credibility, never enough to expose your ceiling. This discipline separates men who are watched from men who are waited for. When you stop performing, people start studying you. They wonder what you know, what you're planning, and why you don't need their approval. That curiosity is power. That uncertainty is leverage. In Machiavellian mode, we don't shine brightly and burn out. We glow quietly and last. Number 3. Never explain, never defend. Explanation is the refuge of the insecure and the invitation of the dominant. The moment you explain yourself, you step down into someone else's frame and ask permission to exist there. Power never does this. Machiavelli knew that justification weakens authority because it signals doubt, and doubt is contagious. When you defend, you validate the accusation. When you explain, you accept the premise that you owe clarity to people who have earned none. Quiet superiority rejects this instinct completely. The superior man understands that most questions are not requests for truth, they are attempts to gain control. People probe to test your confidence, to drag you into emotional labor, to see if you will bend. Silence denies them that leverage. It forces them to sit with their uncertainty, and uncertainty makes weak minds uncomfortable. This is where power grows. You do not correct every misunderstanding. You do not rush to clean your name. You let time and outcomes do the speaking because outcomes cannot be argued with. If this lesson sharpens something inside you, comment, "I owe no explanations," and lock it in. Defending drains energy and exposes motives. Silence conserves energy and obscures intent. The Stoic strategist knows that clarity is a privilege, not a right. You give it selectively, strategically, and rarely. When people cannot pin you down, they hesitate. When they hesitate, you gain space. When you gain space, you control the pace. This is psychological dominance at its purest. Think of how authority truly operates. The judge does not argue. The king does not justify. The lion does not explain why it hunts. It simply acts. The modern world tries to shame you into constant transparency, but transparency without power is self-sabotage. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to be effective. Quiet superiority accepts being misjudged in the short term to remain untouchable in the long term. You let rumors burn themselves out. You let critics exhaust their voices. You remain unmoved, unreadable, and precise. Over time, people realize something unsettling. You never reacted, yet you kept advancing. That realization rewrites the hierarchy without a single word spoken. This is Machiavellian mode. You do not explain who you are. You demonstrate it indirectly, relentlessly, and on your terms. Number 4. Silence as strategic dominance. Silence is not absence, it is pressure, and the man who understands this no longer feels the urge to fill space with noise. Most people speak to relieve anxiety, to prove relevance, to reassure themselves that they still matter. The Machiavellian mind uses silence differently. It withholds information to control momentum. Every word you do not give preserves leverage. Every reaction you deny destabilizes those who expected it. Silence forces others to reveal themselves first, and whoever speaks first usually loses power. This is why restraint terrifies insecure people. They mistake silence for weakness because they cannot imagine strength without noise. You must unlearn that lie. Quiet superiority operates by letting others overextend while you remain centered. When you do not rush to respond, you force the other side to escalate, explain, justify, or expose intention. Their impatience becomes your intelligence. Their emotion becomes your data. This is not passive. This is calculated dominance. If you feel this shift taking root, comment, "Silence is my leverage," and anchor the discipline. Silence sharpens perception. When you are not busy talking, you are observing patterns, inconsistencies, timing, and pressure points. You notice who panics when ignored, who respects boundaries, who seeks control through urgency. These signals are invisible to loud men. The Stoic strategist understands that influence grows in stillness. By saying less, your words gain weight. By moving slower, your actions gain meaning. People begin to lean in, not because you demand attention, but because your restraint suggests depth. Silence also protects your future moves. When you announce plans, you invite interference. When you keep intentions private, you move unopposed. Machiavelli warned against revealing strategy too early because once people know your direction, they work to block it. Quiet superiority avoids this entirely. You let results arrive before explanations. You let outcomes settle before narratives form. This places you permanently ahead of reactionary minds. Silence also reframes conflict. When attacked, the average man defends. The superior man pauses. That pause shifts the psychological balance. It communicates certainty, control, and indifference to provocation. Indifference is not weakness. It is a statement that the attack does not alter your trajectory. Over time, people stop challenging what does not react. They redirect their aggression elsewhere because dominance that does not engage feels immovable. This is why the most powerful presence in a room often says the least. They do not compete for airtime. They let others exhaust themselves. Then, when they finally speak or act, the room adjusts instantly. That is authority without force. Silence trains patience, and patience is a weapon in a world addicted to speed. While others rush decisions and expose flaws, you wait until the optimal moment. Timing beats intensity every time. Quiet superiority is not about disappearing. It is about being unreadable. It is about choosing when to be seen and when to be unreachable. When people cannot access you on demand, they assign value to your presence. When they cannot predict your response, they respect your boundaries. This is Machiavellian mode at its core. You do not dominate through volume. You dominate through restraint. You do not rush to be understood. You allow understanding to arrive late, after your position is already secured. Number 5. Withdrawal creates gravity. Withdrawal is misunderstood by weak minds as retreat, but in reality, it is one of the most aggressive moves in power psychology. When you withdraw attention, effort, and availability, you disrupt expectations, and disruption forces recalibration. Most people are conditioned to believe that presence equals importance, that constant engagement equals relevance. Machiavelli would dismantle this illusion instantly. He knew that scarcity creates value, and value creates gravity. The man who is always available is consumed. The man who withdraws is pursued. Quiet superiority understands this instinctively. You do not announce your exit. You simply stop overextending. You stop chasing conversations, explaining intentions, and maintaining emotional access to everyone. This withdrawal is not emotional immaturity, it is strategic detachment. When you step back, people are forced to confront the absence of your validation, your energy, your reliability. That absence creates tension, and tension creates focus. Suddenly, your presence means something because it is no longer guaranteed. If this resonates deeply, comment, "I withdraw to gain power," and let it redefine your behavior. Withdrawal also reorders hierarchies. When you are no longer reactive, others lose their ability to manipulate you through urgency or guilt. They can no longer pull you into pointless conflicts or drain your attention with trivial demands. Your time becomes protected territory. This alone elevates your status because people instinctively respect what is guarded. The Stoic strategist knows that attention is currency, and like any currency, it must be spent deliberately. Withdrawal forces others to invest more just to reach you. They must be clearer, calmer, and more respectful because they sense you are not desperate to engage. This shifts the power dynamic without confrontation. Silence and distance make people reveal their intentions. Those who only valued your usefulness drift away. Those who valued your presence step forward. This filtration is essential. Power grows when distractions are removed. Withdrawal also strengthens your internal authority. When you stop reacting externally, you regain command internally. Your decisions become slower, cleaner, and less emotional. You no longer confuse noise with opportunity. You choose alignment over approval. This internal shift radiates outward. People sense when someone is no longer seeking permission to exist. That energy is unsettling because it cannot be negotiated with. The Machiavellian mind understands that absence creates myth. When you are not constantly visible, people fill the gaps with assumptions, and most assumptions favor strength. They assume you are busy, strategic, selective. Mystery does the work that self-promotion never can. Withdrawal also prevents premature exposure. Many men reveal their plans too early, invite opinions too soon, and dilute their power before it consolidates. Quiet superiority keeps intentions private until execution is irreversible. You do not need witnesses for preparation. You need results. When you finally reappear with outcomes instead of explanations, the narrative shifts instantly. People adjust their behavior toward you without being told. This is influence without instruction. Withdrawal teaches patience in a world addicted to immediacy. While others chase constant stimulation, you build depth. While they seek reactions, you seek position. Over time, this compounds. Your words carry more weight because you use fewer of them. Your presence commands attention because it is rare. You become the calm center others orient around without realizing why. This is not isolation. This is selective engagement. You are not disappearing from the world. You are removing yourself from low-leverage interactions. Quiet superiority does not shout dominance. It lets dominance emerge naturally as others respond to your absence with pursuit, respect, and restraint. This is Machiavellian mode. You do not cling to relevance. You let relevance come looking for you. Number 6, the invisible ascent. The most decisive rise in power is the one that happens without witnesses, because opposition only mobilizes when it can see you coming, and quiet superiority is designed to move beneath perception until resistance becomes irrelevant. Machiavelli understood that visibility too early invites envy, sabotage, and unnecessary friction, which is why the intelligent strategist never announces growth while it is still fragile. Loud ambition triggers defenses. Silent preparation bypasses them entirely. The invisible ascent is not about hiding out of fear or insecurity. It is about timing exposure only after leverage has already been secured. You move quietly, not because you doubt yourself, but because you trust patience more than applause. While others broadcast effort, you compress it. While they narrate struggle, you accumulate capability. While they chase recognition, you build position. This creates a psychological asymmetry that becomes frightening later because people cannot track your trajectory or predict your next move. When they finally notice you, the distance between where you were and where you are feels too large to contest. That shock is power. Invisible ascent demands discipline because the ego hates silence. It wants acknowledgement. It wants reassurance. It wants proof that the work matters. You must deny it. You must accept being underestimated, overlooked, even dismissed, because underestimation is camouflage. Men reveal their true nature when they believe you are not a threat. They speak freely. They expose intentions. They relax vigilance. This information is priceless. If this principle lands, comment, "I rise unseen," and let it shape your behavior. Quiet superiority thrives on patience and observation. When you are not explaining, defending, or performing, you are watching patterns form. You see who rushes for status, who panics under uncertainty, who needs validation, who respects silence, who cannot tolerate it. These patterns tell you more about hierarchy than any title ever could. Invisible ascent also means allowing false narratives about you to exist. Weak men rush to correct misunderstandings because they crave control over perception. Strong men let inaccuracies protect them. If people think you are slower, less ambitious, or disengaged, they do not block you. They do not compete seriously. They do not prepare countermoves. This gives you uncontested space to build leverage. Machiavelli warned that enemies are most dangerous when alerted. Quiet superiority keeps them asleep. You accept temporary misjudgment as the cost of long-term dominance. You let others have the spotlight while you secure the infrastructure beneath it. The invisible ascent reshapes how power feels. Power is not loud command, it is quiet inevitability. When you finally step forward, there is no debate, no resistance, no negotiation. The shift feels natural, almost pre-written. People adapt because opposing you feels pointless. They did not see the climb, only the outcome. This is why sudden authority unsettles insecure minds. They ask, when did this happen? It happened while they were distracted. The man practicing invisible ascent does not rush to explain timelines. Confusion protects him. Silence after success is as important as silence before it. Over-explanation weakens myth, and myth amplifies power more than facts ever could. You do not romanticize your struggle. You do not narrate your grind. You let the results stand alone. This creates distance between you and those still trapped in effort. They cannot relate, and that distance reinforces hierarchy. Invisible ascent also protects emotional energy. Fewer people feel entitled to your time. Fewer opinions reach you. Fewer distractions pull you off course. This clarity compounds. Your decisions sharpen because they are not diluted by noise. Your confidence deepens because it is not dependent on feedback. You become internally referenced. This internal authority radiates outward. People feel it without being able to articulate it. They sense that you are not seeking permission. That energy commands respect without words. If this resonates, comment, "I build in silence," and let the discipline lock in. Invisible ascent requires comfort with delayed gratification. Recognition arrives late, often after the hardest work is done. Weak men quit here, they need applause now. Strong men wait because they understand leverage. Leverage grows unseen. The man who announces too early invites pressure before power. The man who waits announces with outcomes. This difference determines who controls the narrative. Machiavelli would remind you that fortune favors the prepared, not the loud. Quiet superiority prepares relentlessly while appearing calm, even indifferent. This indifference is often mistaken for lack of ambition, but it is ambition refined into patience. You are not idle. You are deliberate. Invisible ascent reframes ambition entirely. It is not about climbing over others publicly. It is about positioning yourself where competition no longer applies. When you arrive at a level others did not see you approaching, they cannot contest your claim. They did not align. They did not anticipate. You did. This is dominance without confrontation. The modern world worships transparency, but transparency without power is exposure. Quiet superiority rejects unnecessary exposure. You reveal only what strengthens position. You conceal what invites interference. This balance is rare, and rarity creates authority. Over time, people notice something unsettling. You never asked for attention, yet it follows you. You never explained your value, yet it is assumed. You never competed openly, yet you stand above those who did. This realization rewrites hierarchy without confrontation. Tone shifts, behavior adjusts, respect becomes automatic. The invisible ascent is complete when your presence alone alters dynamics. You did not demand status, you became unavoidable. This is Machiavellian mode refined to its core. You rise quietly, steadily, relentlessly, until one day the room reorganizes itself around you without a single announcement. Number 7. Untouchable by design. Becoming untouchable is not an act of aggression, intimidation, or dominance theater. It is architecture, built quietly until interference becomes inefficient and eventually pointless. Machiavelli understood that the safest power is the kind that does not need to be defended, because anything that requires defense can be tested, drained, or negotiated. Quiet superiority designs a position where attacks offer no reward. You do not harden yourself emotionally out of bitterness. You remove leverage points out of intelligence. Every time you stop oversharing, you close a door. Every time you stop reacting, you seal a weakness. Every time you stop needing validation, you eliminate a pressure valve others once used against you. Untouchability begins when access becomes intentional. People can only influence what they can reach, and you decide what is reachable. When your emotions are no longer available on demand, provocation loses effectiveness. When your time is protected, urgency stops working. When your self-worth is internal, criticism loses its bite. This is not detachment from life, it is mastery over exposure. If this aligns with you, comment, "I am unreachable," and let it reinforce the shift. Untouchability is reinforced by unpredictability, not chaos, but disciplined inconsistency. The average man is readable. He reacts the same way, forgives the same way, explains the same way. This makes him manipulable. Quiet superiority disrupts this. You do not reward disrespect with emotion. You do not reward pressure with compliance. You do not reward curiosity with full access. Over time, people stop testing boundaries they cannot map. This is how dominance becomes passive. You are not asserting control. You are removing incentives to challenge you. Untouchability also requires selective investment. You cannot be untouchable if you are emotionally invested everywhere. Every attachment creates a handle. Every dependency creates a vulnerability. This does not mean isolation. It means precision. You choose carefully where you give loyalty, effort, warmth, and vulnerability. Everywhere else you remain calm, neutral, and unreadable. Neutrality is often mistaken for coldness by those who rely on emotional leverage, but it is actually discipline. Warmth, when controlled, is power. Warmth, when indiscriminate, is weakness. Untouchable men do not chase connection. They allow connection to earn access. This reverses the dynamic entirely. People behave better when they know access can be revoked without explanation. Untouchability also grows from independence across domains. Financial dependence, emotional dependence, reputational dependence, all of these are chains. Quiet superiority breaks them quietly. You do not announce independence, you build it. You diversify stability so no single loss destabilizes you. When pressure no longer threatens survival, manipulation collapses. When threats stop working, manipulators disengage. They look for easier targets. This is why quiet superiority feels invisible. You are not fighting threats. You are making them irrelevant. The Stoic strategist understands that the safest position is one where attack produces no gain. Untouchability reframes conflict entirely. You do not escalate. You absorb and outlast. You let others burn energy while you remain steady. Over time, people associate conflict with exhaustion, and you with calm. This conditions behavior. They stop challenging what does not react. They stop competing with what does not acknowledge competition. They stop probing what gives nothing back. This is psychological conditioning without confrontation. You did not assert dominance. You allowed others to conclude it themselves. Machiavelli would call this the highest form of control. Authority without enforcement. Untouchability also requires memory discipline. You remember patterns, not feelings. You track behavior, not apologies. Emotional men forgive too fast and forget too slowly. Powerful men do the opposite. They forgive silently, but they never forget leverage. This is not cruelty, it is precision. Precision is self-respect in action. Quiet superiority also rejects premature reconciliation. Weak men rush to restore harmony because tension makes them uncomfortable. Strong men allow tension to exist until balance is restored correctly. This patience protects boundaries. Untouchable men do not negotiate under pressure. They wait until leverage is neutral or favorable. Silence during tension is not avoidance. It is positioning. The modern world pressures you to be constantly available, constantly responsive, constantly transparent. This is a trap. Availability without control erodes authority. Responsiveness without strategy invites manipulation. Transparency without power creates vulnerability. Quiet superiority resists these pressures calmly. You choose when to respond. You choose what to reveal. You choose who gets access. Over time, people sense something different about you. They feel that you cannot be rushed, guilted, or provoked. They feel stability around you. Stability creates respect, not admiration. Admiration fades. Respect endures. Untouchability also reshapes how you see yourself. You stop measuring worth through reaction. You stop chasing certainty from others. You trust your judgment because it has been tested in silence. This internal solidity becomes your foundation. From that foundation, everything compounds. Your words carry weight because you do not waste them. Your presence feels grounded because you are not seeking anything. Your absence is felt because it is intentional. This is not mystique for show. It is structural power. Quiet superiority is not about playing games. It is about exiting games entirely and operating on a level others cannot access emotionally. When chaos tries to pull you in, you do not resist. You remain still. Chaos collapses against stillness. This is why untouchable men are rarely understood but always respected. They do not explain boundaries. They enforce them through consistency. Over time, people adapt or disappear. Both outcomes strengthen your position. This is Machiavellian mode refined. You are not feared because you threaten. You are respected because interference fails. You are not dominant because you demand. You are dominant because access is earned. Number 8. The final frame. Every interaction exists inside a frame, and the man who controls the frame controls the outcome without effort. Most people never realize this. They argue inside frames they did not choose, defend positions they did not create, and compete in games designed by others. Quiet superiority ends this permanently. You stop entering frames and become the frame itself. Machiavelli understood that power is not about winning debates, but about deciding what matters before debate even begins. The moment you explain yourself, you accept another person's frame. The moment you compete, you validate the arena. The moment you try to impress, you acknowledge a judge above you. The final evolution is refusing all three. You no longer debate relevance, you embody it. You no longer chase outcomes, you shape conditions. This is unspoken authority, felt before it is understood. The final frame begins internally. You stop narrating your life as a struggle for approval and start operating from position. You move slower, you speak less, you tolerate misunderstanding without urgency. You let silence do work words never could. This internal stability makes you emotionally neutral, and emotional neutrality is rare. Rarity creates dominance. If this clicks, comment, "I hold the frame," and let it lock in. Externally, the final frame shows through consistency. You do not explain standards, you live them. You do not announce boundaries, you enforce them quietly. Over time, people adjust their behavior around you without instruction. Tone shifts. Respect becomes automatic. This is authority without confrontation. The final frame dissolves competition completely. Competition requires mutual recognition. You deny that recognition. You stay focused on your trajectory while others exhaust themselves seeking reaction. Eventually, they disengage. Machiavelli would call this victory without battle. Timing also bends in your favor. You do not rush responses. You let urgency expire. The one who can wait controls the exchange. This alone places you above most people psychologically. The final frame also governs generosity. You give selectively without attachment. This creates respect instead of entitlement. You remain kind, but unreachable to manipulation. This balance confuses those who rely on extremes, and confusion protects power. You do not rush to tell your story. You let outcomes speak. Myth grows where explanation is withheld. Transparency without power is exposure, and you refuse unnecessary exposure. You also stop seeking closure. Incompletion preserves leverage. Silence after conflict often ends it more decisively than explanation ever could. The final frame is self-possession. You own your time, attention, and reactions. No one rents space in your mind without permission. This makes you calm under pressure and decisive in uncertainty. People defer to stability. Quiet superiority becomes leadership without title. This is Machiavellian mode fully embodied. You are no longer reacting to the world. The world adjusts to you. Number 9. When the world starts orbiting you. There comes a moment in quiet superiority when you notice something subtle but irreversible. You are no longer moving toward the world is moving toward you. This shift is not dramatic or announced. It reveals itself in patterns. Messages arrive differently. People speak more carefully. Opportunities surface without pursuit. Resistance softens before it forms. This is the result of everything you have practiced up to this point. By refusing to compete, you removed yourself from comparison. By refusing to impress, you removed yourself from performance. By refusing to explain, you removed yourself from defense. What remains is gravity. Gravity does not chase, it pulls. Machiavelli understood that the highest form of power is when others adjust their behavior around you without being told. This is not charisma, it is structure. You have structured your presence so that engagement with you requires intention. Casual disrespect disappears because it finds no traction. Manipulation fails because it finds no urgency. Noise fades because it finds no echo. The world begins to mirror your restraint. If you feel this truth settling, comment, "I attract, I do not chase," and let it solidify. When the world orbits you, time behaves differently. You are no longer rushed into decisions. You are consulted, not pressured. This happens because people sense that you are not dependent on the outcome. Independence is magnetic. The less you need, the more leverage you have. The average man negotiates from hunger. The superior man negotiates from surplus. Quiet superiority builds surplus quietly. Surplus of patience, surplus of options, surplus of self-trust. When you speak, it is measured. When you act, it is decisive. People begin to wait for your response, not because you demand it, but because your response carries consequence. This is how authority forms naturally. The world also begins to test you differently. Early on, tests were loud and aggressive. Now they are subtle. Invitations with hidden expectations. Praise with strings attached. Urgency disguised as opportunity. Quiet superiority sees through this immediately. You do not rush. You do not explain refusals. You simply choose alignment or disengagement. This clarity confuses those still operating through pressure. They expect negotiation. You give none. Over time, they adjust. The world learns your pace. Orbit is established. When people orbit you, they bring information. They reveal needs. They expose intentions. You did not extract this. Your stillness invited it. This is the psychological advantage Machiavelli prized above all else. Knowledge without effort. Influence without exposure. Control without confrontation. Quiet superiority also changes how success feels internally. There is less excitement, more certainty, less emotional swing, more stability. You are no longer intoxicated by wins or wounded by losses. Both are data. This neutrality makes you dangerous in a calm way. Calm people see further. Calm people choose better. Calm people last. The world senses this endurance and begins to align accordingly. People invest in what they believe will remain. Loud men burn bright and fade. Quiet men persist and accumulate. Orbit also changes your relationships. Fewer people are close, but those who are aligned. Drama fades because drama requires reaction. You no longer supply it. This does not make life dull, it makes it efficient. Energy is spent on creation, not repair. Growth accelerates quietly. The world rewards this by reducing friction. Doors open with less force. Resistance dissolves before contact. This is not luck, it is positioning. If this resonates, comment, "I hold my center," and reinforce the habit. Orbit also reveals who you have outgrown. Some will drift away, uncomfortable with your boundaries. Let them. Gravity does not chase debris. Others will step closer, adjusting themselves to your standards. Let them earn access. This filtration strengthens your ecosystem. Power is not built by mass. It is built by alignment. Quiet superiority attracts alignment naturally. The world also starts to mirror your silence with respect. Fewer interruptions, more listening, more deference in tone. This is not intimidation, it is recognition. Recognition that you are not easily moved. Recognition that your approval is not cheap. Recognition that your presence is intentional. Machiavelli would remind you that this is where many fail. When orbit begins, the ego awakens again. It wants acknowledgement. It wants credit. It wants to speak. Resist this. The moment you explain why the world orbits you, you weaken the effect. Gravity works best when invisible. Let results continue to arrive without commentary. Let others speculate. Speculation amplifies authority. Explanation diminishes it. Orbit also means responsibility. You must remain disciplined. The world orbits what is stable. If you become reactive again, orbit collapses. Quiet superiority is maintained, not achieved once. You protect it by continuing to choose restraint over impulse, patience over urgency, position over applause. This discipline separates those who briefly taste power from those who hold it long-term. As orbit stabilizes, something profound happens. You stop thinking about dominance altogether. You are no longer proving anything. You are building, refining, and selecting. Power becomes a byproduct, not a goal. This is the final psychological shift before mastery. The world does not feel hostile or competitive anymore. It feels navigable, predictable. You see incentives clearly. You move accordingly. Others follow or fall away. Both outcomes serve you. Quiet superiority has done its work. You are no longer chasing relevance. Relevance has aligned itself around you. Number 10, the law of quiet superiority. At the end of this path, one law remains, simple and unforgiving. What you do not need cannot be used against you. Quiet superiority is not a tactic you turn on when convenient. It is a law you live by when no one is watching. By now, you understand that power is not seized, it is assumed. It does not come from forcing outcomes, but from making outcomes inevitable. You no longer compete because competition implies equality. You no longer impress because impressing implies hierarchy above you. You no longer explain because explanation implies obligation. Instead, you operate from a position so stable that reaction becomes unnecessary. This is the final state Machiavelli hinted at but never needed to spell out. The man who needs nothing from others is free, and freedom is the foundation of power. When you are free from approval, people feel it. When you are free from urgency, situations bend. When you are free from the need to be understood, misunderstandings lose control. This law governs everything. The world is filled with men negotiating their worth in public, trading dignity for attention, clarity for comfort. You are no longer one of them. You have stepped outside the exchange. That is why you are untouchable. Quiet superiority means you do not chase certainty. You create it internally and let the external world catch up. You trust your judgment because it has been tested in silence. You move when the moment is right, not when pressure is loud. You accept being underestimated because underestimation is advantage. You accept delayed recognition because leverage compounds quietly. This is not passivity. This is precision. Every move is intentional. Every silence is chosen. Every word is measured. Over time, people learn something unsettling about you. You cannot be rushed, rattled, or recruited into chaos. That realization changes how they behave around you. They simplify, they become more honest, they become more respectful, not because you demanded it, but because complexity and manipulation fail in your presence. The law of quiet superiority also governs legacy. Loud men are remembered for moments. Quiet men are remembered for outcomes. You are not building highlights. You are building position. Position outlives applause. When the noise fades, position remains. This is why you no longer need to announce your standards. You enforce them through consistency. You no longer argue your values. You embody them. You no longer defend your path. You walk it. The law is ruthless in its clarity. The more you explain, the weaker your authority. The more you compete, the smaller your horizon. The more you impress, the more replaceable you become. So you do none of it. You let others exhaust themselves while you conserve strength. You let others talk while you observe. You let others react while you decide. This is how you stay ahead without appearing to move. If this has rewired how you see power, comment, "I remain unmoved," and mark the final step. Quiet superiority also demands discipline in success. When influence grows, temptation returns. The urge to speak more, to be seen more, to claim credit. Resist it. The law does not change because circumstances improve. In fact, it becomes more important. The higher you rise, the quieter you must move. Gravity increases with mass. Attention follows power. Your job is not to feed it. Your job is to remain centered. When you do, the world continues to orbit naturally. This is Machiavellian mode in its purest form. No theatrics, no explanations, no competition. Just calm execution and long vision. You are no longer becoming powerful. You are maintaining power. That is the real test. And if you have made it this far, you already know the truth most never learn. Silence is not emptiness, it is command. Hold it, guard it, let it work. If this monologue sharpened you, like the video, subscribe to Machiavellian Mode and turn on notifications. We move quietly here, and we stay ahead.